Let's talk about ways you can use monthly planner inserts in your planner. Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I'm continuing in my series working through a bunch of different layouts, talking about how you can use this layout in different ways to fit with your planning needs. So today we are talking about a monthly layout, a monthly planning insert, and I actually have two different versions to talk about with you today. So we have the monthly planner insert that is the single page. You have the month, the year, all of your undated calendar right here. And then on the back, you have a quad layout to help you stay organized. This is the single page monthly planner insert. And then I also now have a double page monthly planner insert. And this one was a special request from several of you all, several of my patrons that asked for just a detached monthly, just a chance to organize without having all the weeklies. Many of my retired subscribers and patrons said that they just didn't need all of the space of all the weeklies. They preferred this and then preferred to use some other specialized layouts. And so that is what I created for you as well. So I have these as well that you can use separately. So we're going to kind of switch back and forth. We're going to try both layouts and we're going to talk through some ways that you can use the monthly planner insert. If you have not already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification button. I've gone through a ton of different layouts already. We've done horizontal, we've done the quad layout, we've done the dashboard and the vertical and all the things. So if you want to go back and check out those on my channel, you should do so as well. And I do have a few more layouts coming up. All right, ready to dive in? Let's go. All right, let's start with the most basic ways that you can use the monthly planning insert, either layout, either the single or double page, and that is for keeping track of your basic schedule. Hello, that's what a planner is used for anyway. I actually use the single page inserts, these right here. I use those for what I call pre-planning. Because I do a type of planner, I use a Franken planner, which means I combine several different layouts. I generally only have 1 month in my planner at a time. That gets complicated when you're scheduling dental appointments 6 months out, or when you get a full school year calendar and you only have 1 month. You really do need to be tracking what is happening in the future. That's part of the whole planning concept. So pre-planning helps me to do that, and these pages help me to get that done. So these are my pre-planning pages. So I label it July 2024, went ahead and dated it, and you can see I have things filled in that are coming up. As I go through, like the first day of school, gym, fall practice, I have just lots of different things coming up. Right now, I don't have a ton of dates, just a few things here and there, but these calendars fill up pretty darn quickly. I actually have these going through next June. So December 2024, then we get into January. Obviously, these are not filled in yet because I don't have things coming, but I will. There will be doctor's appointments and sports things and all the things that start coming up. So it's nice to have those ready to go in my planner. I love having these undated versions. I love having it on a single page because it allows me to just jot it in. You can see I don't decorate these. I just have them very straightforward. So that is why I like to use the single page for my pre-planning. You can also use the double page. I use that on a regular basis as my monthly planning. So this is what that looks like in my current month. This is July. Again, it's all dated, ready to go. I fill in a little bit more information. This gives me more room to do more specific things. I can fill in the specific practice schedule if I want. New things come up each month all the time. It allows me to mark off big portions of the month for different things. There's all ways that you can use this to keep your regular schedule. Whether you want to use this one for pre-planning or this one for all of your planning. It depends on how much you have going on, whatever works for you. But I like the flexibility of having the monthly inserts separate so that if I'm wanting to change up what I'm doing as far as a week to week thing, if I want to do dashboard one week and vertical another week, I don't have to worry that I'm going to lose my planning, my monthly plan, everything that's coming up. So pre-planning and just your basic schedule, that's going to be the first and probably the most obvious way to use your monthly inserts. All right, now let's talk about how you can use this in a fitness, a wellness capacity. So here's how I love to use it. I have an Apple Watch, so I do track my rings, how often I close my rings. I made these little stickers. I will link my design. This is really simple. Plus there are tons of Etsy shops that have designs where you can get your Apple Watch sticker. What I like to do is go ahead and fill in the whole month. I obviously won't do that all for you, but I have my little ring right here. And then I track how I do each day. So for instance, let me go grab my past month and show you how I would track that. Okay, I start off by just coloring in how I did on my rings for a particular day. So if it was a good day, then I'm probably filling it in all the way around, closed that ring, and then I would come in with the other colors. Yes, I do the individual colors. Yes, I like them to coordinate with the colors that are on my Apple Watch. It's just a fun thing to kind of track and fill in as I go. I'm looking for the right green. You know, you got to have the right one. So then I would fill in this one like that and like that. Then what I do is actually write down how I did on the actual goals that day. It's nice to see that I closed the ring, but what did I get accomplished that day? Well, I burned 981 calories out of a goal of 620. And then I moved for 79 minutes instead of 30. And then I was standing for 15 out of 10 hours. So that was obviously a very productive day. I also have less productive days where I don't get it all the way filled in, which happens to all of us, and it is okay. So I would take a day like that and obviously not get it colored in all of the way. I'd probably be pretty good. Maybe, this might have been like a travel day. So I didn't even close my stand ring, which would be unusual. So then I would write that in 369 out of 620 and 23 out of 30 and 9 out of 10. So I just like to track that throughout the month. I think it's fun to see. I think it's cool to see how you're doing on your movement. That is definitely one way that you can use this layout to track your health and wellness, especially if you're using some type of fitness app on your phone or some sort of watch to just have an analog copy of that information. You can also use the monthly layout to plan out some of your wellness and fitness. So perhaps you are every Monday, perhaps you're working out. Yay for working out on Mondays. Good job. And maybe that is leg day. So you are labeling it. This is going to be leg day. And so that means you're going to do lunges, calf raises, and I don't know, scissor kicks. I don't know, whatever you want to do from that. And you might change that out, but maybe that helps you because next week you could color code it. Next week, that's going to be leg day is going to be on a Tuesday, and you're like working through how that will look. So perhaps that's a good way to color code it and plan out some of your fitness routines. If you're following a specific program, writing it out, checking things off as you go, that can be really helpful. You can also schedule time that you're going to work out with friends. So maybe on Sundays, you're going to walk at the park at 2 p.m. Maybe you're meeting a friend and you're working and you're planning that workout. I think this would be a great way to sketch out what your workouts are going to be. I know for me, my daughter is about to start training for track. We will fill out one of these to help her see what the training plan is going to be. How will it look? What does each day look like? When are the rest days? It's always important to add those in because they are something you look forward to. So adding in an extra sticker as, hey, this is a rest day, is helpful as well. So this is a good way to look and kind of plan out a fitness schedule, a wellness schedule for yourself. It's also a good way to track steps. Maybe you are planning a workout, but you just want to jot down, hey, today I hit 9,800 steps, especially if you're tracking throughout the month and you're really trying to expand it out. Of course, any fitness habits are habits that you could track on your weekly spread. But if you are trying to dig in a little bit deeper as far as seeing the whole plan for the month, then a monthly layout can be an excellent opportunity to create those goals, set up those systems of what you're planning to do when, and then it gives you something to follow instead of having to redo it each and every week on your weekly spread. All right, this is not something that I have ever done, but I do know a lot of people actually like to do a little bit of their budget planning or at least some financial tracking on their monthly spreads. I'm going to use the second half of this month. I mean, obviously it could go together. We're just going to use this page to save a little space or save a little paper, but it's important to mark off some of your paydays. So maybe you are getting paid every other Friday. So you want to go ahead and put those down on the page so that you know those are coming, and then you could even write down what it is the day after. And then maybe you have bills due on certain times at certain days of the month, and you want to make sure that those get paid if they're not set up automatically, or at least that you're tracking that those are coming out of your account. So those are good things to kind of keep track of. And you can even say like, hey, this one's supposed to be an auto payment. This is all tracked. And then you can have maybe you get every other Friday off or every other Saturday. That'd be cool. Day off. You're kind of just tracking some of your expenses and some of your bills. What I love about doing it on here is that then you have this sidebar. This might not be your everyday spending. This might just be your overall bills. So then you could take the sidebar section and just have, let me see if I can find a box that kind of matches with these. Well, you could just have something like this over on the side, and you're tracking some different budget areas in your life. So maybe, hey, what did I spend on my home? What did I spend on personal? And you can see where the money went during the month, and then keep track of some overall goals that you have for finances for that reason. I would definitely recommend using the double monthly spread for this. Just gives you a little bit more room. You certainly can do it on a single monthly. I don't know that there's a ton of stickers that you could use, but you could write in what's happening, keep notes, and then maybe track on the back in the different quads, the bills, income, things like that, like how different categories of your spending, keep track on the back. So that might be a way, depending on how you like to set up your planner. I think it makes more sense to use the double layout for this purpose. All right. So the next way to use the monthly insert, especially the one page one, is for social media tracking. I realize that that is not something that everyone needs to plan on, but I know for me, it's pretty darn important. This is actually how I look to plan what is happening on my YouTube channel on a regular basis. I would create one of these just for YouTube, and I go through, and I generally have videos every Sunday. So I go through and plan my month in advance. I mark what's going to happen on that particular day, YouTube. I make all the plans and write down my idea for that particular day. I generally write in pencil, not in pen like you see me doing here. And that way I plan out what is coming. Then as I go through and actually create those videos, it allows me to check it off, make sure it's scheduled in the right place. I write in pencil usually so that I can move things around if necessary, because sometimes extra videos pop up or new ideas that I want to change around and kind of put in advance. This is my YouTube schedule right now. So I do Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday on a regular basis. And so I fill all of this in, and then I go through and fill in the different titles or the different ideas for what's going to go on that particular day. Down here, I would also probably put releases. I generally mark those with an asterisk. So if I have a company that I'm working with that has a release on a particular day, I would put a little asterisk and write that in there. Down here, I'd probably write, do I have a theme going on for the month? Is there something special happening? And then on the back, I would probably do a larger plan. So I would have Patreon in one category. What's going on Patreon this month? Instagram, what are some Instagram plans I have or goals? For me, I would probably do affiliates, what affiliates have releases and when. It just helps me keep track. And then my own product would probably be what I would do over in these sections. And again, this just gives me a chance to create an overview. We talked about pre-planning with the regular schedule, with just your regular family schedule, work schedule, whatever that is. This is a chance for me to pre-plan and look ahead for different categories of my business and plan far ahead. And then I can take this and use it month to month to actually check off the different YouTube things that are going on and make sure that I'm hitting some of these goals and some of these plans that I had in advance. I happen to think this is a fantastic way for most people to organize their social media. I have YouTube listed. I could also come through and say, hey, on these days, I plan to have a special IG thing. Maybe I have a certain reel that I want. You could color code it with different pens, whatever works for you. It just helps you to see it all together, condensed, ready to go, so that it gives you a chance when you're planning for your week, what needs to get done. It's all here, so you can see it pretty darn easily. And I love having the quads on the back to either track. This could be tracking stats if I wanted for this particular month. I could track stats week by week, or I could set some goals. So it works out really well. Love this as a social media planner. I have always found it really helpful, different variations of the monthly planning insert. All right, so we kind of touched on some goal planning in the social media layout, how I could use the quad on the back of that to set some goals and then organize that info on the front. You can also use your double page monthly, especially if you are tracking a goal that is going to take multiple months. You're not just tracking a goal through a week, but you are sketching out how you plan to reach that goal over a longer period of time. And the monthly layout is a great goal setting layout to look at. So you may want to, we're going to combine a couple of stickers here. So this might be where I write my actual goal. I know it says today. We'll cover that up in just a second. And then this would be where I write how I plan to get to that goal. So maybe I'm going to come here and note to self. This is where I'm going to write my goal that I'm working towards. It may be the same goal over several months' time. These are going to be some steps that I can see, steps to achieve my goal. So maybe it's a goal of writing. Maybe I'm trying to write on a regular basis. Maybe it's a fitness goal. Maybe it's a goal of decluttering my house. Maybe it's a savings goal. Whatever the goal is, maybe it's a goal of, hey, I want to enroll in college. And there's a lot of little steps like, hey, I need to make sure I have my high school transcript and I need to take certain entrance tests and I need to save money. Whatever all of those are, I would list them out, have my goal right here. And then the monthly calendar allows you to kind of check in on a regular basis. So I would probably do something like this. I would have my don't forget, like, hey, this is what I'm trying to accomplish on this particular week. Hey, don't forget, this is what's happening. This is the step I'm getting done on this week. Note to self. Then you can check in towards the end of the week. I'm looking for another sticker that I might be able to use in that way. I could add a habit tracker in to see if it's something I'm working towards on a daily basis, or Just looking for another sticker. Maybe in this case, I'm just going to do like a check-in on Fridays of how I did towards that goal. I might be trying to do some sort of habit tracker. This will be my check-in. So let's write that in. Check-in. Right here at the end, I may be trying to do some sort of habit tracker. So we have the habit tracker sticker book right here. Yes, you can use this on a monthly basis, but you can also use it on, a weekly basis, but you can also use it on a monthly basis. So I may want to give myself a little bit of encouragement during the month. Stay positive. I might be tracking word count on a daily basis down here, down low. I might have some different, very specific things that I'm doing. Like, hey, today's goal is to actually make a certain phone call that I was supposed to make that has to do with signing up for a gym. Or today's goal was to make a doctor's appointment as I'm trying to get my health and wellness. So I'm just making a plan for the entire month. For me, sometimes it's good to see the whole setup. And if you are really excited about a goal, it might be really helpful to put this together and put several months together at a time, so you're very clearly seeing what's happening. This is also a really good way to track. Maybe your goal is writing. I've had several of you that have reached out that are writers. So maybe you are writing out your word count each day. Hey, today I wrote 3,000 words. Today I wrote 900 words. Today I wrote, 1,200 words, whatever it is. You're keeping count of your word count, and then on Saturdays you're totaling it out. Whatever the case may be, you can see it all here. It's all of your goal in one place. So as you're looking at it through the month, as you're going month to month, you can kind of see the progress that you're making. And I think when you start to see the progress on paper, it really is a motivating factor to help you keep pushing on in that goal. Another way to use the monthly layout that I think is a very productive way to use it is as a gratitude tracker. So maybe you go through, you date your entire month, and then each day you're writing one thing you're grateful for. The tricky part is to make sure you don't repeat within a month. So on Monday, it might be that I am thankful for coffee, and I might even have a little coffee sticker that I can put right there. On Tuesday, maybe I'm thankful for quiet time. And on Wednesday, it might be sunshine. It's just different things. It'd be fun to do like a little doodle a day for what you're grateful for, or to find a sticker, and just tracking your gratitude throughout the month. It'd be awesome to then take this into a mood tracker of some sort down here. And then on the back, you might be listing out some different things you're grateful for. Maybe you have a prayer list or verses that you're learning each month. You can kind of make this into like a combination gratitude tracker, faith planning here, some general faith planning, different things like that. I think it's wonderful to organize things like this. I also did, just as another kind of fun thing to do with monthly layouts, back in the day when I was doing memory keeping in my planner on a regular basis, I used to do a picture a day, and I would print it out and pop and do a punch. I had a punch that fit here that was a little scallop circle, and I would do one picture a day for the entire month. And that was a fun way to kind of document gratitude, or at least document like a little snippet of the day. So that's just another fun idea. And then the last one I would have to share with you would be as a reading tracker. So here's my thoughts. I have just started getting back into reading. I have been loving it this summer, and it's a habit I'm hoping to keep up. So I would like to write each day the number of minutes that I read and the book that I was reading. So I think that would be fun. You could even put a little picture of the book like right here, like, hey, maybe you started reading the new Kristen Hanna book on this day. So you print out a little picture of the book, and then you're just tracking minutes. And when you finish it, you would put the picture of the next book. Then hear me out. I feel like on the back, depending on the number of books you read, for me, this would probably be just the right amount of space, is to do a little book review. Like, hey, these are the books I read this month. Like I said, the new Kristen Hanna book, The Women, and then write your little book review right there and rate it. And maybe you read multiple books or listen to different podcasts, whatever the case may be. You could use this as a way to track that reading on a regular basis. And I think that would be a fun thing to keep track of in your planner. All right, so as you can see, there are a ton of fun ways to use the monthly planning layout, whether you use the double page or the single page. I think it is a great way to create a bigger picture of what is going on in your life. Sometimes we get stuck in the details of the weeklies and the dailies, and sometimes a bigger picture can really help you look ahead and see what is coming up, whether it be financial, whether it be social media, whether it be just your regular schedule or your fitness, whatever the case may be. It gives you kind of that broader picture, which when you are tracking things can be nice to see every now and then. Thank you so much for joining me today. I do have these products available over in my shop, so you can find a link to that, ScrappyWife.com, down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Thank you all so much for all of your continued support. If you want sneak peeks of content, if you want some exclusive videos and printables, Patreon is the place to be. You can click the link for Patreon down below to find out more. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.